Hello friends, my name is Old Man Cloud. I upload daily Bazaar gameplay videos, or maybe not quite daily now. I did miss a couple of days, I think, over the new season coming out. I played a couple of games and just decided maybe it's best to let this one play out. What's the Shaun the Deadline? Do I have a pint and wait for it all to blow over? Yeah, it was some ridiculously broken items at the start of the season, in particular pig items, just making the game very, very unfun. I don't enjoy playing with items that are that clearly broken, and I surely don't enjoy playing against them. So with that in mind, I just decided to wait it out until Tempo patched it, which they have now done, and hopefully the game should be in a bit more of a playable state. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of in two minds about how that all played out. On the one hand, it's great that they fixed it so quickly. It's really cool to see, especially after I was involved in Hearthstone in the early days, and there it would take a year to fix something that was clearly broken. So it was great to see Tempo fix the problem items, being hogwash and lemonade stand mostly. Great to see them fix that so quickly. But on the other hand, I have no idea how those items in that form made it into the playable version of the game. Not really acceptable, to be honest, for a released game. Yeah, pretty crazy that items that objectively broken made it in, and basically just ruined the first few days of the season, made it completely unplayable. But anyway, let's not focus on that. Let's instead focus on getting a run together as Vanessa. I'm playing as Vanessa because I really want to play with the new items. I don't think we can ever win this with Langzhong on the board because we have to play with Shark Claws. I think something like this is probably the only way we have a chance of winning today against a pig. So yeah, I'm very keen to get a run together with the scope, which is clearly designed for single weapons Vanessa. And in particular, it looks like it kind of single-handedly makes Julian very playable. So I'd love to get that run together. Would also love to get a run together with, is it Tortuga, the turtle, big turtle boy, that also required a hotfix. So we'll see if that pops up in our store as well. It's going to be a tight early fight here with our Shark Claws scaling. We might need a crit here. Crit one time? Crit would have won it for us there with a double crit chance. Oh well. Only 20% chance. And yeah, the changes to burn and poison are also very interesting, with how heal decreases their stats significantly now, and seems to make damage over time build significantly worse than they were, which I'm not sure needed to happen, but anyway, we'll see how it plays out. And I'll obviously wait to reserve judgment until I've actually played some myself. So keeping a lookout for our new items. We'll take Cove just for some econ. And now we can start to get a little bit of a board together with Langzhong. They've also, I know, completely reworked all the, or a lot of the PvE encounters, so we'll have to pay close attention to that and make sure we're taking on the right battles. We do have a friend, so I'll just take the XP, even though it's a lot harder to get to level 3 today, I know, because you have to take on Borea, who is by all accounts very, very difficult. Haven't tried myself, but yeah, by all accounts very, very difficult. So I think given that, I'm going to take on the Mosquito, looking for the cooldown. So yeah, the game was certainly in need of freshening up a bit, and hopefully what do we have? We have the new items from the prize pass, which I'll wait to unlock as I progress through the prize pass. We have all the changes that happened, including pretty significant changes. And yeah, the change to burn and poison is kind of enough to warp the meta itself to some extent, I think. But we'll see how it all plays out. And let's see, grab that. So yeah, I mean, we started off with an early weapon, Vanessa. You've seen this one before, but would love to pivot to some new items for sure.
I bet you feel amazing right now.
So yeah, I saw quite a few people were calling for, what's our best board? Our best board probably doesn't involve Langjon, but I think we play it here. Kind of a test server, which I think is a great idea. At the end of the day, you can't be releasing broken items as often as Tempo seem to be releasing broken items. Oh, this will be nasty. Yeah, it just, you can't do it. It's just the first, like, what, 2 or 3 days of the season, which should be a really exciting time for everyone who enjoys playing the game. We're basically a complete write-off this season because of just how broken those new items are. They just made the game unplayable. And that's a real shame. And that's certainly not the first time that's happened. So I think they clearly need to do something to avoid that continuing happening. Because as of now, I'm just going to wait a couple of days after each patch hits and then wait until everything's been cleared up afterwards, which is not really the position that you want your players to be in. Gotta have a look at skills here. Standard. Probably is best on Calico, I think, with the increased crit chance that it's going to be getting. Just take some gold. And we can take the eccentric aetherite still. Did this encounter got changed? I know rigged got nerfed, thank goodness. This was I mean it's still very strong, but this was a stupidly broken skill. One of the strongest skills in the game. So that was a very good change. So I would have liked to see an orange Julian, who I would love to get working with the new scope item, but it's not too late. It's not looking like a Tortuga build. Pretty sure that's is it a haste item or a slow item? One of the two. But who knows? Who knows where the build is going to go? And even if we end up playing a somewhat similar build, it's a new patch, and there's going to be new stuff happening. Captain's Quarters is still the same useless item.
Do you have to leave already?
Could have taken that just to grab another piranha. Actually, was probably the play. We are going to make it to level 4 today, which is good news.
I want what's right for you.
Or are we? Maybe we're not going to. Some good stuff here. We're not burning, we have some ammo items. Is this an ammo build, maybe? I think I will put you in the bag.
I like the exercise.
Well, that changes things. I
I
had to take the figurehead. Play it like this, I think. Again, the best board here doesn't have Langjon on it, but I just want to play it to keep it scaling. And let's figure out the rest of our bag. I think Sea Shadow, the way Sea Shadow changed as well, got a bit better. I think the cooldown now impacts the first tick of the item, which is a really significant improvement actually. So I wonder if Sea Shadow is playable.
Now this is how you
Let's bring you down and probably bring you down. Could pivot into ammo, but then I think that would involve getting rid of Langjon now that we've got the figurehead, which I don't want to do. I'd rather keep it scaling. So I think what we've got here is fine, and we'll definitely be upgrading our shark claws. So we have just ended up going for a relatively typical weapons Vanessa early, which is a bit of a shame, but like I said, new patch, still fun, and hopefully we can make something a bit more creative out of it. Like I said, the previous video, I'm kind of in two minds with the channel. Part of me thinks just keep on, people seem to be enjoying it, keep on uploading. Oh, Clemmer got absolutely butchered as well. This was such a shame. Absolutely butchered Clemmer. A really significant nerf to Aquatics Vanessa. Part of me thinks just keep on uploading a run a day and keep things, people seem to be enjoying them. Hopefully people can still learn something even from runs that are a bit more typical. And the other part of me thinks only upload kind of super interesting runs, which means I'd be uploading less than once a day. But we can see how things play out for the time being. But of course, feel free to let me know if you have any views on that, on what you'd prefer. It would be much appreciated. Shark Claws and Figurehead are both aquatic. Although the buff to Calico is tempting, the upgrade to Calico is tempting, but I think we'll take a look here, especially with Cove in the bag. We don't see anything that we want.
even without my treasures.
We're obviously not taking advantage of artillery spotter, but every chance that we do take advantage of it in the future, depending on how the build shapes out. Rocket boots, not really. None of this really, actually. I mean, you take 5 gold for Cove. I don't think we're going ammo now that we've got Figurehead. And now that Langjon's scaling, so I think you're gone. You're probably gone. Because we really want weapons going off multiple times with Figurehead and Shark Claws. Bayonet can stay. So with our newfound riches, I think we grab a Fang and play it something like this. Going off every 3 seconds, effectively going off every 3 seconds. Maybe like this even. Don't need the piranhas, I don't think. And then we probably want the buff on Fang, like so. And then, yeah, sure, given that we've got Cove. Hello, I would like my shield. Thank you. We'll stick that there. Oh, and I keep on doing this. Shark Claw should really be on the left of Figurehead, although it does mean it takes the left-handed buff. I think given that it takes the left-handed buff, we might actually keep it to the right. Definitely will be taking you. Getting some value onto Cove. And one more value, why not? Good to see they still haven't fixed the stash issues. Hopefully they fixed the cursed gumball issue that I was having before. Flame Juggler is really, really nasty. I'm not sure whether they changed him, but they've certainly put him at diamond rank. And we don't have any defense, so it's all just a question of whether we're fast enough to kill him, and I'm not sure that we are, to be honest. So I think I'm just going to play things safe and guarantee the Langjon scaling here. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the new meta develops. We won't get a chance to really see how the new items from the prize pass are going to affect the meta until later in the season, until more people have unlocked them. That's a potential transform target. Or do I prefer... Oh, it's only 4 gold. I think it's better as a transform target. Let's see what you got for me, brother. I'd like a weapon, please. Oh, it's the new scope. So what do you do? The weapon to the right of this has plus 25% crit chance if you have exactly 1 weapon. When you crit with it, charge a non-weapon item 2 seconds. So you need... It's a single weapon item. And you need to also have a non-weapon item that you care about charging, which isn't too common in single weapon builds other than Orange Julian. It really does feel like an Orange Julian build. And I mean, you put this with a fast firing katana, and that's an insane build. That can work so well, I would think. Problem is, we don't have the Orange Julian or we don't have anything for a single weapon at the moment. I'll keep it in the bag for the time being. I also know that they've reworked Mountain Pass so that it's a predetermined event and there's a risk of bad events as well. Which it seems like a really strange choice. I know one of Reynard's original objectives with this game was because he was so frustrated with the RNG in Hearthstone and wanted a game that was less RNG. And that change certainly seems very, very heavily RNG. Like you look at the difference for me between getting a fight here, getting the gold, the XP, the Langjon, the scaling, the potential strong item or skill. Like it's just such a huge difference compared to that and a bad event. Yeah, it's a really big RNG event now.
You have to trust me.
It already was to some extent, but it especially is now. And that just seems like a weird change to me. Even though it possibly needed... I think it did need a rework, because everyone just went fight anyway. But yeah, oh, I thought I just had the revolver there. I don't think that rework was what we wanted. So it's a fight of Angry Dooley versus Angry Vanessa, who can anger the hardest. I think it might be us with Langjon, maybe not. So close. A second away there from Langjon, but ultimately Dooley was scary. Could see that through thick and thin, it's still Jill Dooley. I mean, I can't talk, I'm playing Weapons Vanessa. But that Jill Dooley build has been in the game for so long, it shows no signs of changing. So,
Reward the peaceful,
would love to see.
punish
Yeah,
the
this Clemo rework is such a shame. It was such a cool item. Like I had it in the top tier of my tier list because of how good I thought it was. Which possibly means it should have been nerfed, I suppose, but it is a shame. Don't think it's worth the Cove upgrade.
That decision comes from a negative place.
And let's have a
Yatali,
dig.
the
See if there's
dunes?
something that can
Where shall we
inspire
start?
us. That'll do it. I mean, Fang is also very good, actually. Do we want to play Electric Eels? I wonder if there's potential with Electric Eels and Custom Scope. Pivot to a single weapon Electric Eels build over time. The haste is really nice. I mean, yeah, the Fang is possibly the better option, but it's also the more boring
Belongs in a
option.
museum.
So let's play it this way. And then I'm going to get rid of the Bayonet, Calico, and Revolver, and play you to the left for the cooldown reduction. Play it something like this. And look to pivot into single weapon eels with custom scope, which means we also want a non-weapon item that we care about charging. So keep a lookout, I suppose, for... Just think of whether these skills help us too much. I think I'll just take the XP. We're benefiting from Artillery Spotter now as well, which is nice. We keep a lookout for Orange Julian, I suppose, although it's a bit late. And we keep a lookout for any other item that we think would benefit from a lot of charge from eels, because it is going to charge an awful lot. Yeah, it would be cool to get a scope run together for sure. And we definitely need to upgrade eels as well. I think we got in time for our silver to gold level upgrade.
Take the tyrant's whole
I never know
kingdom.
the level up rewards. Take loot. Sure. No and no. Health and shield. Are there any health and shield items that we care about? I don't think so. It's not really that type of build. Definitely have a look at gold tier though.
How'd I get rich? Investments.
Think we put you in the bag in case we pivot to one weapon.
You have the coin.
Well, we're definitely taking Swashbuckle, aren't we?
24-carat decision, my friend.
The single weapon pivot is looking more and more likely, isn't it? Play it something like, how would it look? Something like this. But then we're not benefiting from the charge at all. So there really is no reason to play it yet. But I feel like that's where we're getting... Oh, we can now have you to the left as well. Like this. But look at this setup for the single weapon pivot. If we could just get the crow's nest and something, a non-weapon that we care about charging, we're in business. Let's see how we did with the pivot. Nothing like some results-oriented thinking.
You insist. Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
You hate to see diamond skills, although that's one of the bad ones. Oh, they got both of the bad ones. That is so unlucky. I'm so sorry, brother. You may still beat us. In fact, it's looking quite likely you'll still beat us, but that is really unlucky. I guess it opens up some possibilities. Oh, it opens up some possibilities in terms of like the first time you poison, first time you burn skills. Going at the start of the fight, but yeah, they got very unlucky with some of their encounters, I would say. So now, today is the day that we really try to make the pivot towards the scope. So we are really looking for Crow's Nest. That's not Crow's Nest.
So you can have everything.
Haste one vehicle is no good. Charge one tool. No, it just doesn't work. It never works, does it? Not interested in the other items, and not interested in anything there.
Who comes to Gigamart and doesn't buy anything?
We continue looking. I mean, I'm not interested in anything here.
The world is pretty scary. You might want some armor.
Submarine plus Orange Julian plus Scope would have to be pretty strong. In fact, Submersible is probably even better than and sub. Harpoon's still not reworked. Never lucky harpoon. Definitely can't beat the Lich. Yeah, definitely can't beat the Lich with what we're doing. So Lang Zhong is holding on. It's still scaling, but I really do want to make the move into the scope. I really want to get a scope build together, and I feel like we've kind of got the build to do it. Just missing a couple of key pieces. I guess the problem with the scope, I think that got reworked. This item got reworked as well, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure. I guess the problem with the scope is that the item spots next to your single weapon are super valuable, and this takes up the spot to the left, so it's competing with some really powerful items. That's its big problem. But
I respect
depending on the item that it's being used to charge, maybe it's enough to justify that. Maybe it's good enough. Gotta have a look at large items.
Slow shops. So I'll
Cannonade with eels is certainly interesting. Cannonade with eels is very interesting. There's probably a strong case to be made for playing this instead of Lang Zhong and Fang, I think. It'd be getting charged all the time from eels. I think this just isn't the type of Lang Zhong. It's kind of a shame to get rid of it when it's doing so well. And it is scaling. Maybe hold for the time being. Maybe don't play Cannonade. Look for the Crow's Nest still. Never lucky. And not interested in any of this.
I will be there long after you are gone, and so will I.
The search goes on. We'll have a look for Silencer. There it is. So we really do have the single weapon build is right here. I think we play what we've got for one more day at least, and then maybe we commit tomorrow, one way or the other, whether we get the Crow's Nest or not. Commit to single weapon eel. Mac. So Mac is now the new Mac expansion is a self-poisoning kit, which is interesting. But Mac seems to be significantly outpaced by Pig in terms of regen now. They've kind of decided regen should be part of Pig's identity, which is a bit of an odd choice, I think. But we'll see how that works out. Like I said, trying not to make any too harsh judgments against the patch, having not played too much myself, other than the fact that Lemonade Stand and in particular Hogwash were just clearly beyond busted to begin with and never should have been allowed into the game in that state. That one I stand by. So today is the day that we try to make the pivot. Not a good start. I want to hold on to some money because I want to look for Crow's Nest. Well, I mean, it's too good not to play now, I think. So now we do make the pivot to single weapon. So thank you for your service, you're gone. Thank you for your service, you're gone. Thank you for your service, you're gone. I want to play single weapon eels. So something like this. I mean, this looks pretty good already, to be honest. So the crit chance is nice at the moment, and that's being used with the buff from Swashbuckle to increase its damage a lot, so it's up to 200 damage. Getting the CDR from Silencer, and getting the crit from Vanessa's Amulet, and the CDR from Figurehead, which I think I prefer to the damage. 4.8 as opposed to, yeah, it's just better this way. And then we look out for a non-weapon item that we care about charging. That's a great get. A non-weapon item that we care about charging. That would charge a lot. It would charge a lot. Could this work? I don't think so. Still don't think this works. There has to be something better than that. Sadly, we're not benefiting from Artillery Spotter, but that's a small complaint given how strong we otherwise are. You're scary. You have Aura now as well, that you have a diamond border. Surely we can take pretty much anything though at this point. But I'm going to play things safe and go after the treasure turtle. I feel like we're pretty strong. The eels haste itself as well. Yeah, really want to get this working. Look at how strong this is. Such a strong eels build. I wonder whether eels got stronger or weaker with the patch. Probably, it seems like Dooley maybe has fallen out of favour a bit, which was eels' best matchup. But it still seems pretty damn strong. Got to be haste and charge. Looking for charge in particular here. That's not bad. Scaling. Don't care about that. I think I'm going to take a reroll. Yeah, I mean, streamlined weapon. It has to be streamlined weapon, right? Scale your damage while you're hasting yourself. So we've got the cove to sell out of for cash. So we don't need a captain's wheel. We don't need another haste item because it's hasting itself. I guess we still just take a look. There it is, Tortuga. Haste your other items 1 second. When you use another friend, charge this 2 seconds. I mean, it doesn't work with what we're doing because we're playing single weapon. And it's a weapon itself. Yeah, Chris, seems like this could be so strong. We'll really want to get a build with that working in the future. Okay, so we're cashing out for figurehead upgrade. Cove has done us well there. And sure, let's take a look.
This is talking fast.
We'd figure out a way to afford eels if you have them, but you don't. Alright. I feel like the build is still quite strong. Just need to find a way to take advantage of scope. Would love to have an orange Julian that we could just slot in here. It'd be beautiful. But it's too late now, unfortunately. This overheal haste seal is so strong, but it doesn't look like they're taking full advantage of it. I think we should be fine, even with this super nasty calcinator. And even with no crow's nest, yeah, eels just match up pretty well against Mac, all things considered. And we're going to be sticking our enchant on Swashbuckle. Have lost a few, but there's definitely potential for this run to go relatively late game until you start running up against one-tappers and pigs anyway.
Ah, a friend. I mean, a customer.
So you charge... Oh no, but you can't go both. You can't work with Honing Steel, unfortunately, because they both require being on the left. And even then, it's probably not good enough. So the quest goes on to find an item that we really want to charge. Has to be skill upgrades. 10% crit is so nice. Chances are we're going to get rid of... Or are we? I don't know how the build's going to play out. Maybe we just take the 4% crit for the time being. CDR is always tempting. I think it's good enough to go the Cosmic Rock. And your skill would also be great for us with Streamlined Weapon. One of your items got reworked, I'm not sure which one. It's not going to help you though, brother, whatever it was.
See that plank? Walk it.
Well, there's a skill. That's a good get. So you're going to be hasting yourself a lot, which means buffing yourself a lot with Streamlined Weapon. It's also a good get. More damage always welcome. We're in a pretty good place here. What do we want to be charging is the question. None of those. And none of those. So yeah, this is maybe where... I mean, it's a really strong item, and if it doesn't work now, it'll work in the future. Do we risk the coin or go for non-weapons? I think we gotta risk the coin.
The Bazaar.
Chance of getting a level? Never lucky. That was the low roll, I think, but we get a dually matchup, which is great. But yeah, it feels like there's not many great items you want to work. You want to match with it. Just trying to think. It really does feel like Big Monkey is the only one. Maybe Small Monkey? But no, not really. I don't know. Yeah, this is why you love seeing a dually matchup with eels. Even without the lifesteal, which would obviously be a massive improvement. We're just so strong. So I'm very happy with that pivot, especially if we roll the 2 out of 3 lucky enchant on the Swashbuckle. Let's go digging. This might be able to, this might help us a bit to find something that, when you use a friend, charge the core. Nope. You're a cool item, but no. That's interesting. You're an interesting lad. But we can't, because you have to be next to it. And Scope and Swashbuckle have to be next to it as well. That's a shame. Because there is some potential. Imagine sticking this to the right. Cooldown 4.5 seconds. It charges the eel. Eel charges it. It charges the eel. Back and forth, back and forth. Could certainly be very, very strong. But yeah, it can't work because it requires being next to it, unfortunately. Or certainly not with Swashbuckle anyway. You're also interesting because we could dupe our silencer, which then significantly reduces the cooldown of eels. Do we care about duping silencer over Vanessa's amulet? Vanessa's amulet is adding 30 damage, which is pretty significant, and possibly more if we get the upgrade to Swashbuckle. But duping silencer is still pretty juicy. And with the way, I assume with the way they changed the horse, I assume they also changed. I assume duping it will affect the current cooldown of eels as well as future cooldowns. It's very tempting. Could also play instead of Figurehead, which will give more cooldown, whilst only using up one spot. That's certainly tempting. I'm going to be greedy and keep looking. So that would normally be great, but we don't need it with the haste enchant. We really want to find a non-weapon item worth charging. Yeah, we can't put you to the right, unfortunately. Nothing here. Last roll, spend all the money, and nothing here either. So a complete whiff, unfortunately. And not only that, but a whiff on money as well. So we got greedy there. We got greedy, but that's okay.
Rally, men! Blades to
Not
the wind!
interested in that enchant, so it is rolling the 2 out of 3 on Swashbuckle. We're looking for shiny or crit, and we get crit, which is great. In fact, they may have got rid of the Radiant enchant on Swashbuckle, so maybe it's a 100% chance to get a good enchant now. I think that was the worst of the 2 enchantments, but still really, really good. And let's have a look. We might be able to sell if there's something we really want.
Leave with big bargains.
I want it so badly, but I can't get that much money. I have no one to blame but myself for being greedy. Would have considered selling the scope, to be honest, if the scope would get us there. Pretty sure we can take on you. Yeah, would have considered selling the scope, to be honest, but this way I can put the scope on the thumbnail despite the fact that it's not doing much. So that's worth it, clearly. We should be fine here, right? Oh god, maybe not. With no lifesteal, please. Please, 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 please. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, the lack of lifesteal is really hurting, isn't it? Really need a crow's nest, but that's still a good win to get. Okay. So you would be scaling our eels like crazy. Because every time they go, they'd be hasting themselves twice, which is giving themselves an extra 5 damage and also giving it the 7 damage. So it's effectively giving it 12 extra damage every time it goes off, which only needs to happen twice, and it's already benefiting more from Cloak than Scope. But I want to keep Scope in the thumbnail, so it stays. Yeah, let's take a look at skills. That's pretty useless, to be honest, because it's already perma-hasted. I'm going to take this just for 5 on the possibility that we end up reworking our build to benefit from that. And we really are looking for a charge skill here. None of these are good, but I'll take the increasing the rate of scaling is fine. Definitely can't afford anything here. Still no crow's nest, which is a shame. But I feel like we match up well against Vanessa. Take a sip of coffee. I feel like we match up well against everything other than Pig, to be honest. Looks like they're doing something similar to me. They found that crow's nest though, but I think with how fast you're going, you're in for a bad time, brother. Eel's just so strong.
Less blunder, more plunder.
It's a meta-dependent item, but when you're up against builds that rely upon going very, very quickly, the eels really do come into their own. Absolutely goated item. Nothing here that we want.
Well, howdy, hero.
Just take some damage scaling.
Louie!
You, and you. That's a pretty good shot, actually. So we'll get rid of you and you. Right, so yeah, you're now on full cooldown. Down to 3.4 seconds. That's really nice, especially once we get it upgraded. And I'm going to hold down on the money, I think, because we saw so many good items there. They're less likely to be good items the second time round. And because I want to make sure I have enough money to grab a crow's nest when/if I see it. So Lord of the Waste got demoted, which was definitely right. Void Golem, I think, beats us with Caltrops. Or maybe not, because we only have one active item. I think Void Golem beats us, especially if they just get lucky and delete the eels. Oh, I'd love to see Pendulum. It would be a pain to make it work, but you'd make it work. Maybe there's something weird you can do with Pendulum and Scope as well.
Is to be free. Join us.
So at the moment we're just using Scope for the 25% crit chance, which is pretty funny. But I did say that I wanted to get the build together. There don't seem to be many items that, maybe I'm forgetting something obvious, but there don't seem to be many items that work really well with it. It's a good upgrade. That'll get your cooldown way down. Cooldown down to 3 seconds. So once we get the upgrade, it's basically like a Caltrops. Like a very, very devastating Caltrops. I really am trying to keep a mind out for looking for items that work with Scope, but can't see anything really. Got to try for the dig site, I think. Last time it went really, really poorly. Maybe I won't be quite as greedy this time. No, no, no. Interesting item, but no. 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 Interesting. Interesting item, but not with what we're doing. Oh, okay. Doesn't have an enchant. So, yeah, I mean, sorry. It's not as exciting as the item to go with Scope, but it just absolutely has to be eels. So we got a bad matchup with Pig, but we're so strong. But we still just can't beat single tap or beefy pigs, unfortunately. Looks like you are a Jabalian War Drum pig or a Bees pig. Bees we lose to, I think. Right? You're gonna one-tap me? Yeah. I mean, this is just stupid. Bees are stupid to begin with, and then this build with Fort is just absolutely ridiculous. Talk about getting countered. Yeah, I hate that bees survive the nerf. They're just really badly designed, badly implemented, bad to play against. Just awful item. So you can probably hear my blinds going up in the background there. Still nothing here that we particularly care about. Charging the dock lines is kind of interesting, right? But it just doesn't do enough for what we'd be giving up. There you go, sorry about that noise. Medium and large, I mean Crow's Nest is a large. It would be tricky to fit the Crow's Nest, but we'd make it work, I think. Yeah, we don't need the haste. Yeah, the build isn't improving much, is it? Feels like it's kind of maxed out. Pretty sure we can beat Awakened District. Let's try. You don't have many items to go off, and we need to get you down a little bit. But I mean, even with eels not charging, it goes off super quickly. Like, it's not charging at all for the opponent, from the opponent doing anything, and it's still super nasty. Yeah, look at that. Such a nasty item. But as you saw with the previous fight, it can just get countered by some other builds. But I mean, Beast Pig is just stupid, isn't it? Has to be an upgrade on Silencer for more cooldown. So you're now it charges itself more than one hit every time it goes off, which is pretty awesome. I think it probably has to be gumballs. Don't think I'm too interested in any small items, other than I guess the Vanessa's Amulet upgrade. World's worst gumballs. Asked to leave. Definitely not interested in weapons.
Food, my food, literally makes you a better person.
Vanessa has to be a good matchup.
Go ahead.
Maybe I'll see how other
underestimate
people are
me.
using scope.
Makes this more
Just can't
fun.
think of what
You should
other
know,
items you really
I'm
want
a
to use it with.
Legend on Pelago.
This seems like it's a very good matchup for us. It's an extremely angry Vanessa, but your anger is going to be used against you, I'm afraid. Although we're going to get frozen, which certainly hurts, but yeah, it just charges so much
Another round.
and crits so hard. It's definitely a 10-win worthy build. It just all depends whether we get matched up against bad matchups or not. By which I mean pig, pretty much. Channel Iron with haste. It has to be good because it means it's over hasting itself more, which means it's charging more. So we can't put it on silencer. I'm pretty sure Vanessa's Amulet, I'm pretty sure Figurehead doesn't work, it's only adjacent items, which doesn't work for us. I'm assuming Vanessa's Amulet is every time you crit, you haste. Which is great, because we crit every time it goes off. But then I'm presuming that custom scope is also every time you... I'm going to blindly enchant the scope. It's the YOLO play. I haven't looked up how Bazaar. I assume it's every time you use the weapon to the right, you haste an item. When you use the weapon to the right, just haste it for 1 second. Yep, great. So you're now double scaling yourself. So that was a pretty nice enchant, really.
Master
This board is so beautiful.
Me?
So we would be charging you an awful lot. That's kind of interesting, actually. Small monkey, you'd be getting charged so much from scope, and you'd be getting a lot of shield, but it just doesn't seem worth it, does it? Doesn't seem worth it. You're a cool item, but not really what we're doing here. Neither are any of the others, so nothing interesting here. Can definitely take the octopus. So yeah, maybe it's one of those items that isn't very good now, other than in a very, very specific spot. Maybe it isn't very good now, but it has potential to be very good in the future. Maybe it only works with Orange Julian now, other than fringe items that you get from fights, from PvE fights, and the dig site, for example.
I am eager to
Maybe could have had a look at slow skills there, but anyway. Oh, never mind, we have big numbers. I mean, Temporal Strike is also incredible. Reducing the cooldown of electric eels by 15%. It's already so low though. I think the extra 50 damage is just too good to pass up.
until tomorrow.
It has to be Gumballs, I'm afraid. And let's hope for no pig. Funny that we're basically using the scope solely for the 25% crit. Gotta have medium
Small
large.
islands, small people.
I love them all.
Nothing here that we care about charging. Put you in the bag, probably just for 1 XP, but it's
I
something.
made a sale.
Mac has to be a good matchup against Mac, I think.
My fight isn't with you.
The Noobler.
You insist.
I will leave you alive to learn the lesson.
Look like a Magnus build. Me when I'm about to lose at chess. You're a bit nasty. Without lifesteal, this is quite scary actually. I think we probably lose. Come on. It's gonna go off. Quick. Oh, we just get there. Just. Alright, excellent. Excellent.
Rally, men! Blades to the wind!
Golden loot. That's a great get. An extra 15 damage. Really great build. Very happy with where we've ended up. Just wish I was getting full value from the scope. But oh well.
Trash is tragedy. Reuse everything.
It's definitely too late for Julian now.
Well, you're doing your part to clean up the bazaar.
Some good stuff here. So we want you to
years
go
waiting for you.
off, and we want you to go off. So you should be, yeah, I don't know, like that. And then we can sell... like that. Yep. Yeah. So the eels are so strong. You can go now. You've done your job. Let's have a look.
People person, and sometimes I sell stuff.
Still trying to find something. I mean, I see it. I see it, my friends. Don't you worry. Oh, wow. So every time the eels go off, it charges card table, which gives eels multicast, which charges card table, which gives eels multicast. Well, we were. How does your cooldown look without? It hurts to bring off figurehead. It really does. 3.9. 3.9. So figurehead would come off because it's both 30% cooldown. Bring off.
I get it. You're busy.
Bring off figurehead. So your cooldown hurts a little bit, which sucks. But in exchange, in exchange, what a combination. It works, right? So every time we crit with electric eels, which is every single time it goes off, which is pretty much every time the enemy uses an item, you will get, the card table will get charged twice. No, once. The card table will get charged once for 2 seconds, which will then give the eels multicast, which then will give it 2 charges, which then will charge. Yeah, it's just, it's too good not to play. It's too good not to play. And let's have a look at how it works. The better board is possibly still with the figurehead, but it's more boring. This way is more fun. So we should get to, yeah, 3 multicasts very, very quickly. Okay, so this is certainly how you can get the scope working.
Maybe a skirt.
What a build. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, I did not want to see the void golem. Anyone but you. Don't kill my eels, bro. Thank you. This is going to happen very quickly. Life comes at you fast. Yeah, we get there. Already up to 3 multicast. Scope plus card table plus eels. What a combo. I was wanting to get the combo working, and we got the combo working. Came at the cost of figurehead, but I think it's worth it just for the coolness. And I think we actually upgrade card table, because keeping your cooldown as low as possible is going to have significant benefits throughout the fight, because you're going to be getting charged so much. Watch me put all this effort into making this work, and then we're going to get one-tapped by some stupid pig build, or we're going to have like 5,000 burn on us within the first 10 seconds. Dually, one-time dually. I'll take a Vanessa. I'll take a Vanessa. Alright, so this is a build. We might well lose tonight. Might well lose this day, but in case we don't, we have eels that charge itself for 3 seconds every time the enemy uses an item, which pretty much fully charges itself, very close. Every time the eels goes off, it crits, which then charges card table for 2 seconds because of the scope. Card table, every time it goes off, gives eels multicast, which then doubles the rate at which it charges the card table, which then gives multicast faster, which then gives charge faster, which then gives multicast faster, and it should just compound in on itself.
I may be young,
That's the plan.
but
But we're up against a very strong Vanessa at level
We're
17.
out to dethrone a king, not to squander
Was hoping
nobody.
for a spammy build. This looks like a spammy build. Feel like we should match up well against this, but the freeze is going to be... oh my goodness, what is happening? Unhand me! Unhand me, brother! They didn't unhand me. Yeah, we obviously have a very bad time against freeze. So up to lethal. I think down to lethal. I think we lose that even with the figurehead though, so that's fine.
You will get through this.
Not interested in slow, which means we're going random enchant. How does card table enchant? Probably poorly. Random enchant on amulet, I guess? They're all pretty bad.
I just want to share what I've seen.
More haste? Sure, increases the rate at which it charges itself, I suppose. And in fact, could be hasting the card table, which is also fine. Got to have a look for card table upgrade.
Nothing huge. All about moderation.
Got to have a look.
If it's not right for you, bring it back.
No.
I want you to be happy.
So we found a way to get the full value out of the scope, I think, which is cool. I'm happy about that. Got to have a look for amulet upgrade.
Just taking the first step toward good taste.
Even if it possibly reduced the overall effectiveness of the build. Let's not worry about that. Weapon skills just for more damage, I think.
The Bazaar is filled with weaklings.
Prefer to just take flat damage. Can we do better than 15% crit chance? I'm going to gamble. It is an aquatic weapon, so 25 damage is pretty nice. It's definitely better than the other options.
I have not died, but it must be very...
Property Baron, is he still as nasty as he was before? Let's find out. Or did they change him? I think they got rid of one of his skills, right? Used to have big numbers, possibly? I think he used to have big numbers and it got changed. Anyway, I love that eels get to 3 times multicast almost instantly. Incredible, incredible build. Even if we don't win, I have no regrets at all. All we're really looking for is amulet here. Really want to see a dually. Dually me one time. Although I guess we can get in trouble with freeze a little bit. Definitely taking temporary boosts to try to get ourselves off overline. Dually, dually. Manifest it. Manifest the dually, not dually. Level 19 Vanessa. Well, we were. But it is a matter of we either match up really well or really poorly. So, not too concerned about the level. Here we go. Let's go for 10. Let's go for 10.
You should know.
Here we go. I want to see... what do I want to see? Spammy. Show me something spammy. This looks very spammy. Oh, my eels! Don't freeze the eels, bro. Unhand them. Unhand my eels. Go, 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 go! Yay! Up to 4 multicast with the card table. There we go. What a fun 10-piece. First Vanessa run on the new patch, and we get it working with the scope. That's a thing of beauty, working with the new item. Really fun new item. At the moment it needs very specific items to work. You could see me kind of struggle to get it working there, but we certainly did with card table plus eels. And I think the most obvious way to get it working is with Orange Julian. And the fact this build worked out well without the crow's nest is testament to its strength. Super fun run. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. I'm a tiny little channel and it helps out a great deal. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.